We're good.
All right.
Welcome.
Well, welcome everybody. So we are actually really excited to be hosting this health chat tonight because we realize that we have an opportunity to be able to talk about some hot topics for folks and trying to break down complicated topics into more friendly, user-friendly conversations. And so we're very excited that our first topic tonight is about our healthy cleanse because a bunch of us have just come out of completing a cleanse last week. And just as a heads up, over the next few months, every couple of weeks, we're going to introduce new health chat topics. So thank you for joining us tonight for our first inaugural health chat here. What we are going to do here is we're going to talk about the healthy cleanse, kind of give you the who, what, where, when, why, and why we do it. And then give you some real experiences, let you hear from people that have gone through the cleanse, and so you can hear it straight from them about all of the nitty gritty, because we know people have questions and sadly a lot of stereotypes about what a cleanse is. And so we want to bust through myths and give you the real information and give you all the scoop you need to know about our healthy cleanse. We want to make sure, most importantly, that we cover the why we do a cleanse, how it works, and then let you know a little bit about us. So, Carla, did you want me to keep talking here about why we do a cleanse?
First, I'd like you to tell them who you are.
Okay.
That part.
Sorry, guys, that I can't see you as I'm looking at our outline. So my name is Daphne Booth, for those that don't know me who are listening in. I live here in St. Pete. I am mom to a very busy 4-year-old who does the cleanse with me, and that's something I want to talk a little bit about tonight. She does parts of it with me. I am happily married to a guy named Eric, who is a chief mate on a big ship. And that's an interesting point for you to understand too, because it affects the way I live kind of my healthy lifestyle. And it also factors in to this topic of the cleanse, because when my husband works offshore, he is not really in control of the food he eats. And he, I don't think, is alone in that. I'm sure there are some of you that might be listening in tonight or listening to the recording later that have additional food challenges, like you may not be the primary cook. And so we can kind of talk through that scenario. So Eric did parts of the cleanse with me last week. And so that is a little bit about me. My focus on healthy living is really from a busy mom perspective, because that's kind of the love language that I speak these days. Carla, how was that for an intro?
That was great.
You're Sometimes amazing. I think you do a better job of introducing me than I do of myself.
You did great. It was fabulous. So hi, everybody. I'm Carla Clayton. I am a leader on the Smart Choices team, and we have several team members here. I was introduced to the cleanse about 5 years ago. I've been using Shaklee products for over 27 years, and I'm a certified health coach. I come at you with the experience as an empty nester, sort of. I have 2 grown children, 2 daughters that are grown, and I am now a grandmother. So that's a little bit about me. And so what we want to do now is we want to talk about this cleanse. Why do people do the cleanse? So most people come into this because they want to reset some of their healthy habits. So especially having come off the holidays very recently, most of us have. I mean, Daphne hasn't quite gotten off the holidays yet. She's still got her tree up.
I had to sit in front of the tree just so you guys could see it and feel better about yourselves. That was my intention.
But she has good reason. They had to celebrate all the holidays when her husband got home after the holidays. But you know, coming off the holidays, how many of us got off track with our healthy habits of eating and exercising and doing those things? So the reason a lot of people do the cleanse is to reset our appetites, to break those sugar cravings, to get a jump start on you know, living healthy. Some people do it to lose weight. Jen can come in and talk about the perspective of if you don't need to lose weight, it's still a very important thing to do a cleanse. at least 1 or 2 times a year to help reset the digestive system, which is a huge part of our health, is having a healthy gut. And that's what this does. So that's why a lot of people do it. So how does it work? Do I have one of the team members want to jump in and talk about how it actually works?
Sure, I'll jump in. For just the cleanse specifically?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the cleanse is really neat because it very much mimics what I did with my nutritionist years ago, which is an elimination diet. It's getting back to the most benign, highest nutrient dense foods that you can eat without taxing your digestive system. So what that allows is, because you're not bringing in a lot of macronutrients that take a lot of energy and focus for your gut to digest, it's giving your digestive system a break so it can get rid of some of the sludge that has built up over time and over the years. But what I love about the cleanse, because some people immediately freeze up and think, oh, I'm going to starve, or I don't like to go hungry. And no one likes the feeling of hunger pains. But I love the cleanse because within the parameter of the correct foods, the foods you're allowed to eat, you can eat them in unlimited quantities. And I don't know of another program out there where the food intake is unlimited, so long as it's on the approved list. And I really like that a lot, because then you're not counting, you're not measuring, you're not weighing out, you're not worrying about, keeping a diary and tracking things, and it's a beautiful thing. But I've come to realize that if your digestive system is lined with all this sludge that builds up over the years, kind of like old pipes in a house, no matter what kind of vitamin regimen you do or how healthy you eat, your body is still not going to be able to fully absorb those nutrients, because the membranes, the linings of our digestive tract are just too filled with gunk. So the cleanse allows that 7-day reset, so that when you do start introducing or reintroducing other whole foods into your diet, and proteins and those macronutrients that are harder to digest, and the vitalizer strip that's going to give us all of those healthy fats and the vitamins and minerals, we're actually going to get maximum absorption. And that's the key. So you're really just laying the groundwork for all the nutrients you're going to get from day 8 forward. And that's what I really like about it.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen, for
Can I jump in for a second, Carla?
Yeah, jump in.
So one of the many reasons I love Jen is that she's a scientist by training. So she went straight to the
science.
Do this into the science. One of the reasons that I love the reset is that I come from a long line of sweet tooths, and post-holidays are just horrific for me, because I've been eating more than I usually do, and typically a lot more of the sugary stuff than I typically do. And so one of my favorite parts about the cleanse is that it helps you fall in love with fruits and vegetables again, because when that's what you are focusing on, and obviously there's all the good benefits that come from eating fruits and vegetables, but you're kind of resetting your palate. So you're resetting your palate, you're resetting your cravings, and you're kind of falling in love with food again. And so part of the cleanse for me is it's the science stuff is amazing, but it's also just kind of me getting back to just nourishing my body, giving it what it needs to thrive. And the point that Jen made, I think, is huge about giving your digestive system a rest. We are constantly taxing it from the moment we get up in the morning to the moment we go to bed, and your digestive system is working when you're sleeping. So this 7-day cleanse allows us to give our body the rest that it needs to be able to then do an even better job being able to process all the more complex stuff a typical American eats in the diet. So Thank you, Jen.
No, good point. I didn't even think about the cravings. That's also very huge.
So very simply, I actually want to show you the cleanse, what it is. It's actually part of our complete program, the Prove It Challenge. And the cleanse, if you get the Prove It Challenge, which is 30-day program, is free. So let's pull it out of the box.
I love free stuff.
What'd you say, Daphne?
I love free stuff.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Love. So here it is. Here's the cleanse packet. So in a nutshell, what you're going to do is you're going to eat fruits and vegetables. You're going to drink lots of water, and you're going to take these cleansing supplements that come in a morning and a nighttime packet. So it is so easy. And when you do the cleanse, we're going to provide you with recipes. We're going to provide you with a meal plan, a meal planner. We're also going to provide you with a community of support and accountability in a private Facebook group, because really that's the best way to succeed, is to be surrounded by a community of people doing it at the same time with you. So that's it in a nutshell. So we want to move now. I would love to hear from some of you who just completed the cleanse and talk with us and just share your story. Like, you know, what did you experience going through the cleanse? What were some of the benefits you noticed? Who'd like to go? This is informal. It's very informal chat. So
I'll go.
It is. Yay.
So I actually really loved it, and I didn't.
Uh-oh, did we lose her?
We lost your sound, Liz. Oh, she froze up.
Expect to.
There you go.
Oh,
okay.
no.
You were gone. So if you can come back in, we lost you. I loved it.
We liked where we left off, which was I loved it.
Oh no, she froze again. Okay, Liz, you froze again. So we'll let somebody else go, and maybe we'll try again with Liz in a second. So, okay. Mary Grace, would you like to chat?
Yep, for sure. Hi, so I'm Mary Grace from Tampa, Florida. I am married to a chef. So it's been about 9 years that we made a conscious effort to go into a more healthy lifestyle. And we were just trying to find the right products that were organic and natural, because the more you start learning about food and ingredients, you'll realize that a lot of the foods that you buy will have added ingredients that do not make them healthy. So I've been introduced to Shaklee, it's going to be 3 years now. And I tried the cleanse 2 years ago, and I will be 100% honest, I was completely unsuccessful. It was really hard thinking about, especially I was doing it on my own. I couldn't think of fruits and vegetables. Like, I read the pamphlet, but I just felt lost. So it was not my best one. So when Shaklee introduced a community for the cleanse, I did it last year in January. And in that week, on day, it's not easy, right? But the end result is 100% worth it. And when I started going through it and the symptoms that I was feeling, I started reading other people that had the same symptoms. So just having that community of, like Daphne and Carla were talking about, what made a world of difference. And I was able in 7 days to lose 8 pounds, where for 2 years I didn't lose any weight. And I'm very active. I worked out, I watched my diet, but there was just some slump that I fell into that did not work out for me. So, and it completely resets your palate at the same time. So having that option, seeing that weight loss, it really motivated me to continue that healthy lifestyle. And I've done 2 cleanses since then. I'm one of the weird ones that did it the first week in December, because I had so much going on. I had a trip, and then I had a week of my family staying with me, and I knew that my health choices weren't going to be as great as they were throughout the year. So when I did it, I lost a couple more pounds, but the biggest thing is that I felt so great going into my vacation that I became very active. I paid a lot more attention to the foods that I was eating. And by the end of the year, I realized that I was 12 pounds lower than I was when I started the year before. So that for me was a huge win for someone who's been in a slump for many years. And the biggest advice that I would say is eat a lot in the beginning, because when I did that the second time, I realized, because I knew when I did the cleanse last January, the first 2 days, I was like, I really don't know how much to eat. And then the last 2, ate huge salads the first 2 days. So I'm like, I know I'm going to be hungry. I know I'm going to feel deprived. But if you fill yourself with the fruits and vegetables in advance during that day, you're going to be a lot more successful going forward.
Exactly. That's a really good point. I think a lot of people, the first time they do a cleanse, they do underestimate when you're relying on fruits and vegetables for all of your energy. It requires so much. So, a lot of people undereat, and so they might feel hungry, but you should not be hungry on the cleanse if you're eating the right quantities and sticking to the list of what to eat. And then we provide recipes. So some people just graze on, chopped fruit and vegetables all day long. I never feel satisfied when I do that. So if I make things like smoothies made out of fruits and vegetables and soups made out of vegetables and then stir fries and roasted vegetables, and I'm having what feels like a meal, then I have felt a lot more satisfied. And that has helped me through that as well. So good point. Jen, if I could have you speak, since Mary Grace talked about some awesome weight loss results, I'd love for you to speak to our guests who maybe don't want to lose weight. I mean, how do you address this? Because I know that's something that you deal with.
Sure. We're a small minority of people, but it's equally scary when you're underweight, especially if down the road you get sick, then you don't have any weight you can afford to lose to stay strong and fight off whatever virus or illness you get. So that's a constant battle for me. I have a super fast metabolism that was altered when I was on 2 years of chemo about 6 years ago, and my metabolism has never quite been the same after that. And I've just never gotten back to my goal weight without a lot of effort. For me, the cleanse is always scary because I don't want to drop pounds. I just want more energy and I want to curb my cravings. So there are some modifications that I sometimes do to ensure that I don't lose weight. I do add a lot more healthy fat into my meal planning, particularly avocado. And in fact, I have a recipe book that is exclusively recipes for using avocado so that I can keep the creativity alive. I also swap out avocado oil for any stir fry that calls for olive oil because it has a slightly higher fat content. And I also add a little bit more sweet potato and cruciferous vegetables so that I just have a little bit more bulk. So I often will do cauliflower rice as a base for whatever stir fry I'm doing, kind of like you were saying, Carla, where you want it to feel substantial, like a meal. I try not to eat like a bird. I like to eat hearty, and I eat in large portions. I made a huge pot of vegetable soup on Sunday, and I ate off of it all week long. But, it was probably 12 servings worth, and it was just me, and, I ate it in 5 days amidst other things. So for me, a lot of it is just preparing for the volume of food I need to eat within the realm of what foods are allowed to be sure that I'm just getting enough calories.
Excellent. Thank you for that point. I'd like to open up. Are there any other people on the call that would like to share their experience? Because I know we have some people that just went through it.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Laura.
Okay. I'm sorry no one can see me right now. I don't know what's wrong with my video. But yeah, so for me, opposite of Jen, like one of my goals is weight loss. So I lost 4.5 pounds on this cleanse. So I'm really happy about that. And the one thing that I noticed about the cleanse and transitioning off the cleanse to the strip and shake and, healthy meal plans going forward is that I feel that my body is in optimal health. And then with my digestive health on track, it's a lot easier for me to continue weight loss going forward. Just because digestion is better, my energy is better. So I'm burning more calories through the day. I'm back working on, increasing my resting metabolism. And so I'm burning more calories at rest. And, again, of course, making more mindful, food choices and so forth. So that's kind of what really helps me after the cleanse. Another thing I noticed too, I know my immune system is even better than it was before. I've been around people for the past 2 weeks that have had the flu, you know, like all kinds of like strep throat, everything that you don't want. And I've felt really good while everybody else is complaining at work around me, you know, they're catching colds and so forth. So I think this time of year is like the perfect time to boost your metabolism and, you know, get started on your health goals so you don't have to be sick this time of year.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. Is there anyone else that wants to share?
I just wanted to add the family perspective. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I had to switch rooms, sorry. I just wanted to add the family perspective because I've got a lot of folks that are hesitant to do a cleanse because they think it's too much work, and they're cooking for their families and trying to figure out how to get their kids on board, and that, you know, their kids don't need to do the cleanse, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this is the personal opinion of Daphne, but I feel like everybody can do some sort of cleanse. And there are, my big tagline recently has been, there are no cleanse police. So like, you have to modify your cleanse to fit your health goals and your health needs. But one of the things that we do in my house when we do a cleanse, whether my husband is home or at sea, is we involve the whole family. So if you followed along in my social media, some of you that are friends, you might have seen it, but we went shopping together. So we went to Saturday morning market. We picked out vegetables together, and Lorelai got to pick out vegetables that she got excited about. She didn't know what they were, but then it entered us into like an adventure of cooking together and trying to find recipes to cook these random vegetables. I ended up with a purple cauliflower. I had no idea what to do with purple cauliflower. I did not know that it is the same as a regular cauliflower, but those are the fun adventures you can have when you're cooking. And in my family, we have a 3-bite no thank you. You have got to take 3 bites. And so for kids, when you're doing the cleanse, yes, you're going to need to round out their diets with more than just fruits and vegetables, because they don't need to do the full cleanse like you're doing, but it just gives you an opportunity to have fun, eat the rainbow, try different fruits and vegetables. Everybody can be involved. So I just wanted to share that it doesn't have to be this very scary, overwhelming task. You can have fun with a cleanse. You can do it with a family. It can be manageable. There are lots of quick recipes, and those are all resources that we can provide in our accountability group. And those are the things that help set you up for success.
Very good. Thanks for sharing that. Liz is going to try again.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So I didn't think I anticipated having some struggles, especially around breakfast. I really love breakfast, but I'm also quite comfortable eating vegetables for breakfast. So it really went rather smoothly. One of the allowances that I gave myself was, having a poached egg for breakfast if I wanted it, and accompanying that with vegetables. And for me, it really wasn't so much, although it accomplishes the premise of a cleanse, it really was a reset.
Right.
Absolutely, coming off the holidays and resetting your taste buds, resetting your cravings, because boy, we went nuts over the holidays. It was bad. But in the result ended up, about 6 pounds down, which is fantastic, and feeling a big piece for me was just the feeling of lightness. Like I feel a lot lighter, my energy level is up, and I really am enjoying the vegetables. This week, I really have not gone back to meat. The primary thing that I added a little cheese, so I'm super excited. Hey, I get to have cheese. But I've really been able to adopt the really integrating vegetables as a primary part of my meal consumptions, and getting more experimental with some different things and doing it in a quick way. So for me, it really was it was the perfect timing. It was super simple. There's no guilt attached to it. And as you go through it and you start to feel better, it just becomes a little more natural. So it may seem like sometimes like you're on day 2 and you're like, oh, I got 5 days to go. But then by the time you're on day 5, it's like, oh, that was kind of quick. So it works out really well. And for me, it was perfect, the perfect thing to do.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for sharing that. And I like that you said the allowance that you gave yourself, because we're very big with the Smart Choices team of the cleanse. We let people know that, as Daphne says, there's no cleanse police. And what it means is we can make modifications. We can sit down with you and talk with you about what are some things that you can change out if you feel like you're not going to be able to stick to it. We'd rather you finish the program imperfectly than not finish it. So because what I have found is, I mean, Liz lost 6 pounds even though she was eating eggs. Eating eggs, adding some chicken, these are okay modifications. And as a matter of fact, if you have males, it's actually recommended that they have that extra protein source, or using a scoop of our protein shake, which is plant-based protein. So as we're wrapping up, we're going to give you some time for questions and answers, but I do want to share with you that after you finish the cleanse, we want to introduce you to our shake and strip challenge, because what we've done, that's the Prove It challenge, the part 2, is we have cleaned out the sludge, and now we want to put back all those good nutrients, and we want to make sure we're getting all the nutrients that our body's used to getting in a very simple way by trading out one meal, usually breakfast, with a shake that's plant-based, 20 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, and it's just going to help you feel full. It's going to give you 1/3 of the nutrients you need for the day. And then taking the vitamin strip that goes in, these are customized women's, men's, or seniors, 50 and up, that's where I am. And you just take a vitamin strip every day that is loaded with good nutrition. And we'll get into the details of that with you at another time on another chat. I think that's our chat next time. So did you want to add anything to that, Daphne, explanation? Are we good on that?
No, I mean, I think the key is simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much complication in life, and I love what this Prove It challenge offers, which is take care of yourself, do a cleanse for 7 days, modify as necessary, lean on people like are on this call tonight for resources, and then following the 30 days with vitamins and a shake a day, and just these simple changes add up over time
to big results. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we want to open up now for questions, if anybody has any questions.
So can I address one? The word sludge has come up a lot tonight. And I've, having gone through the cleanse last week with several close friends of mine, got some very funny text messages about private, more personal conversations. I think that there is a lot of myths and stereotypes about the word cleanse and detox. People think that they're going to spend 7 days sitting on the toilet. And I just feel the moral obligation to address that up front and say that I have never gone through the cleanse with anyone who has sat on the toilet for 7 days. You are going to, if depending on the status of your health going into a cleanse, you may actually have very little response, or you may have a quite drastic response. If you're in the position where you already have a pretty balanced diet of fruits and vegetables, and you're used to eating greens, it might not be a big deal. If you are someone that inhales 10 cups of coffee a day and hasn't seen a vegetable in the last couple of years, and your favorite fruit is the color of a slushie at 7-Eleven, you might feel a little bit more of the detox symptoms. And my opinion is you start wherever you are and you do your best, but there are the symptoms that typically come from a cleanse. Sometimes are gas, bloatiness. Sometimes, yes, you might have to go to the bathroom. You are probably going to go to the bathroom. You may get headaches, but all of those are temporary. And everybody that I've gone through the cleanse with, it's kind of neat how you can see the evolution in the 7 days, because there's some magic that happens in days 3 and 4 and 5, where your body is getting used to this new nourishment. And so I just wanted to tackle that one head on, Carla, because it is one that I've received a lot of text messages of, wow, I need to lay off the cauliflower because that made me super gassy, and I work in an office. And I'm like, I understand, so let's explore some other vegetables for you to try. So you got to have a sense of humor, but it's certainly, I feel like the word detox and cleanse has bad connotation, and it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, it's more like a reset.
It's a reset. Yes, you're giving your body, your system a reset.
Exactly. So I wanted to share with you all a quote as we're closing up that Dr. Shaklee said. He said, "You cannot clean house without stirring up a little dust."
I love
So when we do the cleanse, there's going to be a little dust. There's going to be a little period that you go through, like maybe a little low energy, not feeling good. And if you're coming off caffeine, things like that, I mean, you go through that. But oh my gosh, when you get to the other side, 90% of the people who go through the cleanse, and they've had over 10,000 people go through this since I think in the last year, who have said that they would do it again. So it's worth it. People love it. So what we want to do is we want to invite you, if you're watching the replay or if you're on this call tonight for information, we want to invite you to reach out to us and have a private conversation and assess if this is for you, if this is the right time for you, or maybe some other things that we can do with you to help you get on your journey to getting healthier just by making some small changes over time. They really do add up to big results. And that's what we're looking for, to help support you in doing that. So thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you all for being on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank